Welcome everybody to Let's Play Gothic 3. This is Mr. Joseph, and I'm very excited to begin our journey on this epic adventure into the world of Gothic 3. Gothic 3 is a video game produced and developed by Piranha Bytes back in 2006 when it was released, and was the third in a series of games called the Gothic games. As I start the new game here, I'm going to tell you briefly about the other two Gothic games as we lead up to this one. Gothic 1, just the setting is a land called Mirtana. This is a continent which was unified by the human king, King Robar. But as he found success in uniting the kingdom, he was attacked by orcs. And in order to supply his army with the necessary implements, he needed ore. So he opened a mining colony and sent every convict in the land to the mining colony. And so Gothic 1 takes place in this penal colony, and your goal is to escape this penal colony. The magicians in Gothic 1 created a magic barrier around the colony, and essentially your quest involved defeating the demon that was the key to this magic barrier. In Gothic 2, the king still needed ore, but since the barrier had fallen, the mining camps were in disarray. So the hero who died in the first one is resurrected by a powerful sorcerer and is asked by the sorcerer to defeat a source of evil on this near the mining colony from the first game. These both take place on the island of Carinus, which is not part of this game. This game, Gothic 3, takes place in Mirtana again, which is where King Robar, the king of the Gothic games, basically operates from and directed the events of the first two Gothic games. We start our quest by observing our hero and his compadres, or compatriots, returning from Carinus back to Mirtana, and there he is, the middle guy is your character, with Diego to the left and Gorn to the right, or switch that now, Gorn on the left, Diego on the right. We also have Lester and Milton on the ship with them, but we'll talk about that later. Here, the orcs can be seen sieging the city of Vingard, the king's capital city. The king, concerned for his own safety and for that of his kingdom, decides, similar to the first game, to have his magicians create another magic barrier, which is a theme between the first and third games. So he summons the magicians in his kingdom, in this city which is about to fall, to the throne room. By the way, there's Lester in the back with the arrows, and Milton on the far right, the mage-looking guy. So the king summons his magicians, with the orcs on the castle gates, literally, summons his magicians to the king's chamber here. And they are fire mages, which are people from the first game as well, and second game. And the king, who is now aged, you know, in the first game he was middle-aged, now he's becoming somewhat elderly, so he's aged quite quickly, summons his mages together, and with their magic, you know, conducts the spell to create the barrier. The king himself participates, using the Scepter of Verant, which you can see right there, which is the artifact which allowed him to gain power and unite the kingdom in the first place. The king strikes the scepter on the magic essence, or whatever that you want to call that, and the barrier goes up. The barrier is transparent, but it is solid. And if you get too close, it will harm and ultimately kill you, just like the barrier from the first game. Our heroes return to the land, and land south of the king's city, near a town called Ardea. They walk up a hill, and they observe orcs enslaving the humans there in Ardea. And they decide that this is not an appropriate course of action. And they decide they need to fight. So, with that, we will begin our epic adventure into Gothic 3. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Let's Play Gothic 3.